I heard from a little birdie that you were drinking and I'm like, shut up.
There's only 2 possible birds.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, now we're live.
Hi, you guys.
Hi, everyone. Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year. So I was just, I know, which sounds so weird, but.
I love the name of the episode, Opas and Outbursts. I love these names. I'm like, who is coming up with these names? Okay.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. But like Sydney, Utah.
I know. I can't believe it's the season finale.
I know. When they said that in this episode at the end, like, next time in the season finale, I was like, I literally got sad, actually. I'm like, no.
They're so good.
I'm not ready to let them go. Well, I guess, I mean, not, yeah, because there's reunion and stuff, but still, I'm like, no, like.
You know, I hated Mary having that jacket, that shawl on under her nice dress.
I knew. You know what's so funny is that I had a feeling you would say something like that when they were doing that photo shoot, because I was looking, I'm like, of course she has her arms covered.
I know they're not the same, but you can drink vodka and you can't show your arm. You can marry your stepdad.
It makes no sense. Like, why are you so covered up?
Girl.
I was actually talking to friends, but they were talking about, I don't know if you watched it yet, the documentary that they did about Mary on TLC and her church and all that.
No. What's it called?
Oh my God.
I'll watch it.
It has the word cult in it. A lot of information wasn't necessarily new, but because I've watched the show since season 1, but there were some things of like, in there, like, Mary was like, I didn't know this. Mary had a previous marriage. She was married and she divorced the guy and got married to her current husband within 19 days.
Ooh.
There's like weird shit. Like,
it sounds like a Leanne Rimes situation.
Girl, it's very odd. Basically, the allegation is she's a cult leader. Well, I think she talked about it last season.
I'm almost to the point where all churches are cults. I kind of.
Listen, honestly.
I mean, you get me to show up every week. I'm giving you my cash.
That was a heavy focus on it, yeah.
Because we went to church for Christmas Eve, and my daughter liked it because they gave us like fake candles. They did like a Holy Night song, and I was honestly the whole time just like thinking of other things and trying to not listen because I was just like, how did this used to be so important? Like,
there's like an audio of like berating her congregation because they only gave her 14 birthday cards, and none of them had money in it or something. It was never meant to, be pro Mary. However, It is still a very bad look for her. I'm curious if they're going to talk about it at the reunion because I'm pretty sure it came out prior to that, or at least it was advertised or something, if I remember correctly.
Oh, the documentary.
Yeah, but it's not good for her. And when I said, I'm like, I know, I'm very. I said, I'm not that I'm conflicted, but like I do like Mary though, and they're like. And coming from them, that means something because sometimes, people still will like be rah for the people that we shouldn't be rah-rahing. And they're like, And I'm like, okay, maybe I need to think twice about my fandom for her.
So are there any other series that have like pastors or religious people, Potomac or anybody?
Ish. Like Potomac. So Giselle, who's been on, I love Giselle. A lot of people don't. I do. Her husband, you might recognize him actually if you see a picture of him. Her husband is a very famous reverend. He actually, last year actually, led the charge for boycotting Target.
Really?
Jamal
Someone
something.
Told me about him.
He's quite.
I don't remember his name.
Yeah. I don't know if famous is the right word. He's very well known.
Okay.
He does a lot of like civil rights stuff and blah, blah, blah. But he was being married to her and he cheated on her.
And then we know that Portia, somebody starts dating the prophet in the Atlanta series. So I think it makes sense that Mary is on Salt Lake City because we already had the whole Mormon religious culture tie-in. So I think that's interesting that they have both of those religious tie-ins going.
I was gonna say, I think it's really her. That's like hyper, like, and I don't think anybody else is like not like that at least.
Yeah, interesting. Because I'm all wrapped up in it now. Somebody was sharing Housewives Halloween costumes, and there was somebody a mortician. And the coffee guy, and I was like,
from Real Housewives of Miami.
So now we have at least 2 morticians because we have Phaedra.
You slept with the Haitian mortician and gave him a coffee. That was from Real Housewives of Miami. That was last season. It's so funny.
So we need to watch Miami. I was talking to my sister-in-law about Miami.
I was going to say, you will love Miami. It is so good.
She was so funny. She was like, why did you guys decide to start talking about this? I was like, well, we did different shows, and then this one really stuck. And she was like, and you just watch it and talk about it? I could never. And I was like, I know. That's why I love him, because we're just like, I think I have something good to say about it. Let's do it. And we just...
and that you just try it. And
you
see
just
if
do
it.
It.
Vibes, and it does for us.
I was telling her about it. I was like, we're never going to finish Bridgerton. He was not into it. And I was like, but that's okay, though, because you need to have both of us both be excited. And I can't fake this. I've drunk the Kool-Aid on Housewives.
I did. Here's the thing. I was seeing some like pictures because is there a new season out, or is it coming out
the end of January?
Okay.
Yeah.
So that makes sense, because I was seeing pictures of
Penelope.
Yes. And that like brother, that hot guy.
Yeah.
And I was thinking like, you know what? I probably should try watching that show again. Or I should continue watching it. So
there's enough stuff for us to watch. If we could watch Killing Eve, which is about an assassin and a woman who's like...
I love Sandra Oh.
And she is phenomenal, because she loves this guy, but then she's really attracted to this woman who's also an assassin. And so she's like, am I attracted, or is it because I want to figure you out? It's fascinating.
She won an Emmy for her role in that too.
It's so good.
That show. We are not in a lack of content to talk about. So. We should watch. I haven't seen it yet. That gay hockey show that everyone keeps talking about, Heated Rivalry.
Yes.
It's on HBO Max.
But see, here's the thing, though. This is the first season. Once there's 3 seasons, we can talk about it.
You can read the books.
That's not the same. It's not. Well, we can. I haven't watched Euphoria. Does that have 3 seasons? And I've still never seen what's the show? Gilmore Girls. There's stuff that we could watch.
I love. That's I think that is up there as one of my favorite shows of all time is Gilmore Girls.
So there's still stuff.
Oh my God.
Not at all. In fact, I just saw the other day Dawson's Creek is now on Netflix again, and I was like, is it? I should watch that as an adult, because I haven't watched that.
I haven't watched as an adult
because I remember when old girl got married to Tom Cruise, and I was like, Joey from Dawson's. So I have all these judgments about when I first met characters, and then when I see them again.
I see. She was in 2 movies, both low budget. She was in a movie called First Daughter, and her dad was oh my God, what's his name? Michael Keaton. He was the president of the United States.
Just a basic face.
Yeah. You know, the first child, and she wanted to go to college and have a real college experience, but she's the president's daughter. It's so stupid. Then she falls in love with this guy who ends up being like a Secret Service agent, but he was there to protect her. It's the stupidest movie. And then she was in a movie, talk about stupid, but it had great people in it. It's called Mad Money. It was Diane Keaton and Queen Latifah and her.
Yeah.
And basically, Diane Keaton's character, her and her husband go broke. They were rich, and she has to get a job. And so she gets a job at the Federal Reserve, being a janitor. And then she's looking, and she's
Katie Holmes?
Diane Keaton.
Oh, okay. I was like, is a janitor? Okay.
It's so stupid. So she gets a job there. Queen Latifah's character is to shred expired money.
Okay.
And so and Katie Holmes' character she delivered the expired money, right? And so Diane Keaton gets there, so she has to get a job. So she is now a janitor at the Federal Reserve. And she's cleaning the room where Katie Holmes is bringing the money. She's like, what is she doing? And then she sees Queen Latifah shredding it. And then her mind, she's like,
let's steal it. Yeah.
Well, that's the movie. So she comes up with a scheme to steal all the money. And she works with those two. And they start stealing millions of dollars. And then the way I'm saying it makes it sound a lot more interesting than it is, because you can tell it's pretty low budget and stupid.
I'm definitely watching it after this. Yeah.
It's actually I actually do I watched it a couple months ago. I do like the movie. But it's the dumbest movie, but it's good at the same time.
Yeah. My favorite Katie Holmes movie, and this is such a random that we're on this topic. It's called The Romantics, and it stars the girl that was in True Blood. I never knew her name. I tried to watch it. I think I got through a couple seasons. The girl from True Blood is getting married, and Katie Holmes is cheating, sleeping with the guy, the fiance. because they were always in love ever since college. But then, like, the true blood lady is like old money, and he wants to have this rich life, but he really loves Katie Holmes.
Yeah.
And so then, of course, you have your other college friends that all know, and they're just like, stop this. So that's my favorite. So I don't even know if it was low budget. I just know that it was like a early 2010s movie, because that was when all of them were really popular.
Yeah, that's what all these movies. Yeah,
because I think Josh Duhamel is like the guy. Like, I think it was
I know what
big
you're talking
actors.
about. I don't think I've seen it, but I think I know what you're talking about now.
So ironically, the first party I went to when I was in college was the semester I knew I was graduating. So this was not my college experience. But I'm just like, I feel like it's all of your friends having a college reunion, and you're just like, remember when you were sleeping with that guy forever and the girl didn't know?
Yeah.
It's my favorite.
She is not a good actress. She's not bad. She's just not great.
Katie Holmes or True Blood lady?
Katie Holmes.
Yeah.
She's not. She kind of annoys me. I don't know why. But then she somehow, because of the Tom Cruise thing when they divorced, she became like a fashion icon. Now she's like so private. Like, I don't even know what she does anymore. I don't think she's acting.
So that's the perfect tie-in, because it was probably Scientology, and when she escaped, she switched it up, and we started this talking about religion. So kudos to you.
No, he did. Well,
or
in
cults.
this 16 minutes, that went several different ways.
I know.
We talked about Mary Cosby's cult and then Katie Holmes.
But we overanalyzed all of it, and that's on
and we
par.
did, and it all made sense to us.
All right, now let's go to Santorini, Greece.
I would love to. Please, I would love to go to Santorini.
Oh my gosh. I have to watch the episodes twice, because I watch it once and I just look at the background, and then I watch again and I listen.
I get it, though.
It's so beautiful.
Especially when they're doing that photo shoot and they saw that. I'm like, oh my God, it's so pretty. Like, that is breathtaking.
It is. So
Greece
I hate the
beautiful.
internet, because the internet gave me a spoiler. They showed a picture of all of them together and called them the Avengers. And I was like, what is this a picture from? And then I realized I was late to watching the episode. And I was like, oh, they look so good. The colors were so pretty.
I saw someone, I think a couple days ago or something, like an artist, draw that, like, what now is all of them outside with their long dresses. But they drew it, like, what is that style where it's not cartoony, but it's intentionally making them look bad, but not because they want to. It's like that, you know what I mean? It's like that weird,
like a caricature.
Yes. And it was so funny, and I was trying to think, like, why are they dressed like that? And now it makes sense, because they had like their colorful dresses, and they had, like, all the trains out. I was trying to see
it.
I know, I have to try to find it. I was like, I would want to buy this and make friends. Yeah. It was really cool looking.
So Dom and I, our relationship has changed to where now we're like sending memes and like gifts back and forth to each other on Housewives, and I'm like,
look at this.
I feel so included. I was like, oh my God.
Did you see the one I sent you that came out from the holidays of Kyle and Mauricio? I'm like, I wonder, like, it's not going to play out this season, but maybe by the reunion they'll make it. I'm like, I don't know if I believe that they're back together, but
sometimes you see a video, and even if you don't know the context, you know it's a big deal. And I saw it, and I almost screenshot it, because at the time I saw it, it had like 4,000 likes. And in the back of my mind, I'm like, why am I seeing this? I don't know these people. Because the last name is like Urbanski or something. And I was like, is that the daughter who just got married? Or is that the husband's last name? Okay. And see, so again, I only know Kyle Richards from 3 episodes. I don't even know Mauricio's last name. And then you sent it to me, and now it has 200, 400,000 likes, which means it has millions and millions of views. But I remember seeing it. It was like, look at my little parents eating their popcorn. And I was just like, oh, so cute. Yeah. Bronwyn and Todd, their marriage. The internet is saying that y'all aren't together. As of May, when this was recorded, around Mother's Day 2025, she's talking about how she used to be defensive about Todd, which I thought was hilarious, because I'm like, girl, you're still defensive about him. But then this is the side of Todd you don't see.
I know.
He can be an asshole and still help your parents when you're out of the country. And I was just like, ma'am. And I think that's the thing with relationships. People really think it's one or the other. It's you're bringing me coffee in bed, or you don't cheat on me. And I don't understand why there aren't gradients of people. And I'm just like, what do you... He can still be incredibly demeaning to you, but know when he needs to take... You only have one mom and she's old. I don't like, that's not hard. If he was saying, screw your mom, I hope she doesn't fall, that would obviously be you leave. Right? You know what I mean? Like, why is she not seeing that there's levels to this? So
I agree. I feel like it's never, relationships are never one or the other. It's, I mean, maybe sometimes, and that might not be, that's clearly, in my opinion, wouldn't be a good relationship if it was one thing over the other.
Yeah.
I will say, though, however, when she got up from the table and she seemed so concerned and she was like, oh my God, Todd had to go like fly to wherever I can't remember her mom lives. I was still surprised, though, because he is very much portrayed in a way that he does not give a fuck, like, period. So I was like, okay, maybe there is some, to your point, there is humanity in him where he realizes, okay, I'm going to dump my wife soon, but I still have a heart, so let me go help her mom. Or he cares enough, maybe they get along as not in a relationship that he can still have, like, okay, I see that she needs help, so I'm going to help her. Like, So I guess I'm glad to see that there is some, like, empathy inside of him, not typically, maybe not for Bronwyn, but for at least other people that need it.
I mean, he's probably closer in age to the mom.
I thought that too. I'm like, maybe it's because
he's geriatrics unite. I
want that on a t-shirt.
I saw it and I thought, because we are slightly cynical, I was like, okay, he's doing it for the plot. He's reforming himself, or the editors, right? Are they editing this right now, or did they edit it in July? Hey, everyone's saying that you guys aren't still together. Let's throw in this little clip. How many other times does he call that we don't see, right? And so that part I thought was just so cheesy. This is the part of Todd you don't know. No, the part of Todd we know is the part you tell us.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
Is that part true or no?
Yeah. I think that's a very good question that I don't know if we'll get the answer to, because I'm trying to tread lightly here because I don't want to back myself into a corner necessarily, but I'm starting to have a different opinion of Bronwyn, and not a good one. And I'm trying to think, and I don't know exactly why that is.
She's being messy.
She definitely is, but in a way, like I used to appreciate that and like that about her, but now there's a part of it that seems that I'm starting to ask, like, is this performative, or is this like, what's the like? It's almost unnecessary now to a point where, not that I don't know. I'm trying to figure out how, because I'm starting to feel a bit indifferent about her. Where I was very like, I love Bronwyn, and not to say I don't, because I love the things that she does for, like, you know, the LGBTQIA plus community, and she's outspoken, and I love all that about her, and she is fashionable, and she seems like a bad bitch, and I like all that. But there is a side I'm starting to see that people I have read online that feel this way about her already. That there is something kind of that comes off performative about her, like that phone call. It just, she was like, "So, okay, is everything okay?" Like, I don't know. It just felt like, I don't know. I have a side eye, so I'm not. I still love you, Bronwyn. I'm not painting you with a broad stroke just yet. However, something's rubbing me not the right way.
I didn't like when she got defensive when Heather said that Brittany was one of the most accomplished people at the table.
I know. I knew what Heather was saying.
Out of everyone who could have spoken up first, Bronwyn, you are the last. You've raised the child and you enjoy your marriage and you wear designer clothes. I don't, you know what I mean? Like, Lisa has, like, legit runs a business. Whitney wasn't even defensive. She has multiple businesses. And I just don't understand why you would say that. And it's just like, shining a light on another person does not diminish yours. And that's where it's like, Bronwyn, what are you talking about? Now, don't get me wrong. Success comes in levels. Having an IMDb page is its own huge right. And it's a very visible thing. You cannot just, I can't just make one for you, right? It's not a Wikipedia page. Speaking of, I should make one for Dom and Kyla. But it's not a Wikipedia page. And so even if Heather said it in a different way, I just thought that was so weird that Bronwyn was the first one to speak up. And then I didn't care for the fact that I completely believe that she told Meredith she thought Brittany was drinking the whole time. I did not like that. And I was just like, Bronwyn, you being buddy-buddy with Meredith is Meredith rubbing off on you more than the you know what I mean? Than the other way. And so I don't care for that. The only clip I think we saw the old school Bronwyn was when they were all at lunch, her, Mary, and Whitney. But then even that was kind of odd because we go from Meredith has a drinking problem to I saw Seth and he might have been out on a date. And it's just like, what are you doing?
I understood what Heather was saying, and I was on her side.
Yeah.
They're all like feathers ruffled, and she's just like, you're not interpreting, for whatever reason, what I'm saying the way that I'm meaning to. Maybe she could, you're right, maybe she could have said it. She clearly needed to say it differently because these ladies were not having it. But one thing I thought was funny is Meredith, when she's like, I have design awards and all this kind of stuff. So while you were talking, I was looking that up because I wanted to say, like, what the fuck awards does she have? And I will say, it does say that Meredith Marks has received recognition for her jewelry design work. She says, and it says, according to some fashion community mentions, she does have, there's like 1, 2, 3. There's a list like 4, like, awards. However, like one of them's like an honorary. So I wouldn't know if that's, I'm not saying that's an accomplishment, but I don't know if I would say that's an award.
But Heather has written books and has her own series.
New York Times best-selling author. Yeah.
And she's not even diminishing her own accomplishments by saying somebody else is doing a good job. Like I know exactly
what she was saying. Well, because they and I agree with her because I think really 2 things happened in this episode. They really came up for Britney again, and I guess that conversation would be another thing. But then the other one was between again Britney and what's it called, Lisa. So at that last dinner when Heather said that, they were really coming at Britney hard a few times throughout this episode, and I thought all of it was so uncalled for.
Yeah.
Especially, and I think you just mentioned it, Lisa and the whole drinking alcoholic accusation. And her trying, like, and I love that they had the flashback. She's like, I never said she was, and they like literally flipped it back like 30 seconds prior when she called her, what is it, an alkie or something?
Yeah.
Trying to make it sound cute. And I'm like, that ain't cute. Whether you're meaning or joking, whatever you want to call it. If you're accusing, let's say, someone of being like an alcoholic or some sort of substance abuse problem, you just shifting the words a little bit. Right. There's no making it cute.
I know.
And Lisa is this whole like all the time. So it's like, I found it actually low-key really annoying because the hypocrisy of it all was so irritating to me. Because I'm like, shit, that's her friend. Heather's just defending her friend, and rightfully so. I probably would have done the same thing. Like, chill the fuck out. She has done some things. Big deal.
I know.
Literally, everything that they were doing is what Meredith and Lisa do every time. Lisa literally will start crying whenever Meredith gets upset to try to draw all the attention. And then if Britney is dramatic, she learned that from you, Meredith, because you do that all the time. So I thought that was really, really silly. I thought it was really silly. The frustrating thing for me, when the episode started, I was like, I like Meredith. Okay, Meredith.
Yeah, she seemed lighter. Even Heather said it. She was like funny and all that. Yeah.
I was like, okay, I'm starting to see who you are. We're getting you. You know, she was sitting out by the pool. She's like, I'm wearing my eye mask, whatever. And then we took a turn at the spa for one, because she started splashing the water on her, and that just was a bigger deal.
Clearly, it was way too much. Yeah.
But I'm still very much so team Britney, and I think you guys are being very Britney's example of like a couple of trips ago. You guys were literally pouring buckets
dumping
of
water on her. Yeah.
I don't think that's the same, but I also think that you can splash somebody in a quiet space. So I don't. I think the best description of it is the way Heather said it. Britney's irritating people by being herself, being Britney. I think that's the best.
Honestly, what I will say, what I thought was hilarious was them having an argument, but like in whispers because they have to be quiet. I thought that was pure comedy of it all. That was so funny. But like, talk about Lisa Barlow being the shit stirrer of this whole episode, really. Because so Britney splashes the water. Okay, one could argue that if you got your hair done, that could be irritating, and I can understand that. I don't think it's worth any kind of in-depth conversation.
I didn't understand it until Angie mentioned that it's like salt water,
which was fair.
Or people might pee in the water, and okay.
Yeah. However, also when she was talking about like how long her hair took and all that, I'm like, why'd you do that before going to a spa?
You could have went to
lunch.
You
could do it afterwards. Yeah, it's like why would you do that? But okay, pass. But like Lisa going, like they're all like relaxing and they're sitting and it's all fine, and her like whispering to her like, so why did you like splash the water on? It was just like, what are you trying to accomplish here? While I agree, you can't compare. It's like apples and oranges. How they dumped water on her. It's not the same. However, I also can understand. Like, I would probably do the same thing. I'm like, well, hold on. A few weeks ago, we are all laughing when you dumped water on my head because I was saying my, my horrible boyfriend's name. You don't want me to say his name. Granted, not the same thing, but I understood her thought process. I'm like, I thought I was just being playful, basically, and that's how I took it. And they really ruined that. They could have just like, okay, you know what? Pick and choose your arguments. That was not one that needed to happen. But I think there's something with her, and I agree with you, and I agree with Heather. Like, there's her just being herself really seems to irritate at least half of this group, and I want to know why that is. I don't. I'm really trying to understand like why they are so irritated by Britney as much as they are. I don't get it.
Because if my first instinct was to say, well, she's the least accomplished, but I don't know where that came from. Is that just because she's literally not married? Because even Heather said she has this, she's been in plays, she's done this, she's done all these things. Right. So, and I don't even think it's bullying because she's the newbie.
Right.
So like it's hazing, kind of like maybe? A weird mean girls type of energy.
Definitely Mean Girls. It just seems very uncalled for. While it's kind of it's comical, but I still feel really bad for her because, and I don't know if it's a good or a bad thing necessarily, because it used to give me pick me energy, and I don't know if I 100% feel that way, the way that I used to at least, but it is quite clear to me, at least it feels like she is wanting to be one of the girls, so to speak, and they're not trying to deny her access. I don't think it's for TV. I used to think it was, and maybe it is. Who knows? I don't know her like that. But I think it's exactly what you said and Heather said. I think that is literally authentically her, like that bubbly, like I just want to be one of the girls. I want to be part of the squad, and they're like, no. And I think that makes me feel sad for her.
It makes me feel sad, and I almost feel like she and Bronwyn have switched places because I used to think like, she can't just be this bubbly and ha 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 and so funny. Mm-hmm. This is actually her being her, and now Bronwyn is back to being the pick me, and she's like, no, look, I'm included. Look, I share secrets with my friends. Even when the episode started and Heather and Whitney are whispering to each other, of which no one can ever get between that. They are literal cousins. They're always going to have these.
They're bonded.
So that's different. I want to laugh too. What are you laughing at? You're trying too hard. Like, chill out. Now Bronwyn's giving performative, and what we thought was performative from Britney is probably just her actual
That's a good point. Yeah.
And to that, all we can say is, sorry, but I have to include Angie in here. Angie, Lisa, Meredith, chill out. It's not up to you whether or not she's from cast. It's up to the producers. And we like to see her.
Yeah.
So you guys stop denying her access. Let her in.
It makes me wonder if granted, they don't, while they're like in the thick of it filming, they're not going to be aware of like how they're going to be perceived or how she's going to be perceived or whatever. It makes me wonder if like they see the writing on the wall almost or something. Like they wonder like, we cannot make her look good, or we don't want her to take maybe one of our spots or something. Like, it makes me wonder like, while she's being authentically her, are they deliberately trying to, or are they just being bitches? And that's because that's who they are. I don't know. And I was kind of shocked with Angie because I thought it seemed her and Britney would be like in a good spot. Like I was like, oh, I think they're like becoming friends, and this validated. I'm like, I don't think they're friends. Well, I guess till the whole trademark thing. Not that they're not friends, I suppose, but I would include her in that because she is being a little too much too with all this. Like, let the girl be part of the crowd. Like, enough of trying to deny her like some of the access to all this. I think she's good for the show. I think they probably know that, and they're like, no, we can't make that happen. And it seems as if the conversations I see online, that's really backfiring in terms of like the fans, because people really like Britney.
So remind me, did Bronwyn ever come on as a friend of, or she went straight on to holding the snowflake?
Yeah. Okay. And her and Britney both started last season at the same time. But yeah, Britney was a friend and Bronwyn was full time. But I think I told you, and I remember reading rumors before season 5 of then when they said, there's always like rumors and allegations. And they're like, oh yeah, there might be 2 new housewives. And they had their names out there. You know, because obviously you see people filming, so things come out. Yeah.
And Britney recorded a tagline.
And she did. And so I wonder what the turn was, because she does film a lot with them. And even it was definitely the season where we're seeing personal storyline from her, and her daughter has a confessional and all that. So she did, at least last season, film full time. I don't know if there's something similar, or they solidify like, oh, you're a good friend of whatever for this current season. But I think they can probably maybe see the writing on the wall that there's a possibility that she could be promoted. Yeah. And I guess they're trying to make her look bad. I don't know. But I think that just helps inflates the possibility that she's going to become a full-time housewife. Because you're right. I agree. I think people want to see and hear more from her. Because she has a very interesting story. And I'm just over like Meredith's antics with all this. Like, she's just really annoying the hell out of me.
Yeah, and I think it's kind of ironic to jump to current times where Britney had her cabaret show and she...
Oh, right, and Bronwyn was there. Whitney, I forgot. Yeah, and Bronwyn was there.
And Angie were acting out the Mean Girls.
So I guess I take that back. So I suppose they are friends.
Well...
Or maybe. Or on good terms.
Or maybe, because I'm trying to think about... You're on the show, so you guys have to talk and engage. But Angie and Mary are friends. They know each other's lives outside of the group. And even though Angie hosted the big hair party for, you know what Britney, I mean? That doesn't necessarily have to make them close. Whereas I was hoping they were. Yeah. Maybe we're seeing that not really. It's going to take more than that.
Yeah. Or perhaps since the season has ended, maybe something, I don't say escalate, but maybe there's been a relationship that has grown, to your point, outside of the cameras. Not like maybe as close as Angie and Mary, but maybe like there was some movement in terms of her being able to connect with some of these women that makes them closer. Because I agree, when I saw that picture, I was like, that seems like a good group of girls. Like, I want to see them on TV and have fun.
I know.
And get rid of Meredith. And I think Lisa could possibly, if she just leans into being more of like a villain type, and then maybe this is somebody new, I think that could be a really good like cast. Because I like that. I want her to be included in this group. It's really making me sad, which makes me even wonder. I'm like, I can't wait for the reunion because I want to see like, that'll tell us a lot about their dynamic.
What if, you know how we've been seeing Britney with all the confessional looks? What if she's like, by the way, I'm officially a client of Angie's salon? Because her hair in the confessional.
Oh my God. That would actually be great.
And maybe that ties up their whole story. And she's like, okay, I forget who says it. I think it was Lisa when she's like, your hair's synthetic. And that's why it looks that.
She's like, and I will say that was hilarious.
Loaded out of myself.
I know. It was mean, but it was.
And passed out.
She's like, it's not synthetic. This is real human hair. But you know what? Going back to that fight at the dinner about accusing Heather of being her mouthpiece. Who was it in there? Maybe it was Mary or maybe I can't remember. But basically saying like how Britney does have to defend herself. And Mary. I will say, I do agree. I want to see now Britney be spicy. And I think it's important to have a friend and an ally on your side to help, navigate the conversation or something like that. But I do want to see her like in that situation be like, fuck you. I'm like, no, my hair looks pretty damn great. At least I have thick, volume with your pinch straight hair. Like, or you know what I mean? Like I want to start seeing that kind of energy from her. Cause I do agree with that. At least they do come at her hard and she tends to kind of be like, what? Like she doesn't go there. And I think that's what we need from her.
Because I think it's like when the bully picks on you and it's like, until you let them know you're either going to bite them or beat their ass, they're going to keep jabbing.
They're going to keep doing it. Yeah.
And the only time we really saw her do that was when she and Meredith spoke on their own. And she wasn't like, oh my God, I've been waiting for you to apologize.
Yeah.
That was the only, or when she's with Jared, she'll go back and forth with Jared, but she doesn't do it with the other girls. So we do need to see that. What did you think of Angie walking into the tray of food?
It's funny. I'm like, of course she did.
I hated that scene, but
why?
Because they show Lisa eating and they show him bring the food and then they show Lisa eating and then you see his team member standing there.
Yeah.
And she's on her phone and she could have been like, hold on, he's walking. It was literally a corner. I recorded it because I was like, So I'm so happy that Angie did not get hurt, but I'm suing all of y'all. Because you're literally there on your phone when you could have been like, wait, someone is coming around the corner. I was pissed.
Right.
I was like, if it's me and you, sure. But also, we're not going to have cameras in multiple angles.
Right.
But I was like, these people are obviously famous. They're obviously on TV. Their faces are like, that's her first thing. Is my face cut? Is my face cut? Is my face? Hello. And I was just like, you're negligent. Because I wonder
why no one said anything. Yeah, that's a good point. Like,
I was trying to
hold
figure out
on,
who was
don't
standing
move.
there.
Yeah,
I know, because I was like, it can't be Mary, but they were a bigger stature, and I was like, who is that? And then she rushes over after the collision, and I was just like, what was your job? That part.
They probably wanted to happen then.
But I mean, her filler was the seatbelt. What did Bronwyn say? She was like, that filler saved your life.
Yeah.
I loved the whole scene, but also I just thought that like the mom of a young kid in me was just like, come on, this was preventable.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, you know it was. Someone could have easily stopped.
This was preventable. It was
hey, maybe you should just like wait 2 seconds and then or something.
You just woke up. She's still in her pajamas. You're not thinking.
Right.
And you go to turn the corner. Yeah. And then even Lisa, I need a layout of the place. Because the way they were showing it, she was probably watching straight on too. So I don't know. But I think that Angie handled it well. She was like, the sweet people are bringing us our breakfast. And then bam, here I go. So let's jump from there to them getting kicked out of the restaurant.
I know. Oh my gosh. I thought he was like being funny till like I realized, oh no, I think they really are getting kicked out. Yeah.
I still was hoping she'd be okay after she walked out of the spa. I have you in the back of my head saying, I love this series because they have conflict and there's resolution, but Meredith never has resolution.
She does, yeah. Yeah.
And I'm just like...
And she keeps getting a pass for it, yeah.
Never does. So she gets up and walks off. And then they showed us the clip of Britney crying in the car, and she's like, nobody text me or call me from... And they're like, it's early, it's okay. And so then that carries over into dinner, and they're all still talking about beautiful scenery. I'm glad Mary's letting us know you're going to have to walk everywhere because I'm dressed appropriately. But they're still like picking with Britney, and I'm still watching Meredith, and I'm like, the only time you're loud is when you're lying. The other time you're letting other people speak for you.
Well, and how quickly also it turned.
They had a little bit, but only when like they mentioned the thing that Bronwyn said, and I was like, Bronwyn, why? And I don't understand Britney, because Britney's like, my own roommate's talking about me, and I'm like, but you guys aren't friends. When y'all were on the yacht, y'all weren't friends.
I know, and that's where like I think she is very, what's the word, like gullible, I suppose, or very like. I think maybe that's also why Heather is like Britney being Britney she's basically like rainbows and sunshine. And I think that's, I guess you can probably leverage that into your superpower. I think in general, it's a superpower, right? I mean, what a blessing to look at the world like all like in happiness, I suppose. But almost like to a fault. It's not like she always sees the good in everybody else.
Yeah.
I mean, talking about Britney to a fault though, and then says something like that. Like, well, clearly you guys are not friends. It's not a stretch to be shocked that Bronwyn would say anything not nice behind your back, especially to Meredith. That's not a stretch. So I don't know why you'd be surprised, but I believe that's authentic to her, because I think she looks at it that way. Like, well, why would you say that? And then, listen, and Bronwyn knows what she was doing. Her and her confessional, she's like, I'm not going to own this one because that's not what I said. I'm like, but you know exactly what you were saying, though, and how Meredith was going to, if at all, interpret it. And then release the information if she needed to. And I'm like, fuck you, Meredith. Like, you're being just as messy as everybody else, so don't try to be high and mighty. When you say those comments, like, I heard from a little birdie that you were drinking and I'm like, shut up.
I'm sitting here like, there's only 2 possible birds.
Yeah.
Lisa would have definitely been like, that was me.
Yeah.
So I'm like, it has to be Bronwyn. But this is an interesting dynamic, because this is where being an outsider helps. Was Britney there when Bronwyn threw Whitney under the bus for Meredith? Was that a group dinner?
Yeah.
Because I'm like, if Bronwyn would
was.
throw Whitney under the bus, Britney, you have to know you're not closer than they were. You know what I mean? And maybe that's our perspective from seeing it at home, right?
Yeah. Could be. Could be. And I think what's hard too sometimes, because obviously we wouldn't see this also, but she could be the type. Well, I think she even kind of revealed that to some
What?
extent of her. She seems the type that thinks maybe she's closer to the people than they actually are. And
Mm.
and I don't think they ever really talk about this, but in the beginning of the season, Brittany is very much like, yeah, me and Lisa are really good friends. And that is definitely not the
Really?
case.
I don't
I never
remember
really
that.
noticed that. What was it? But I think it was before. Oh yeah, like remember, like I think it was at the first episode before we see Lisa, right? Because she's not in the first episode, and they're all like talking about her in the RV and stuff. And that when Brittany was like really defending Lisa, like that's
Yeah.
my friend, and we hang out and we talk, and they're all like, you do.
Weird.
And it's clear, like now, all 15 episodes later or whatever. I'm like, y'all are definitely not close,
Definitely
especially
not.
when she's accusing you of being an alcoholic, even though she's not meaning it and thinks she's being funny. But I'm like, that ain't funny.
So, question: if we're seeing Mother's Day videos now, are they going to show it? Are they recording September to December, and we're going to see that next year? Or
I don't. It depends. I think if I had to take a guess of their timeline, the reunion's gonna come. I can't remember. I feel like they always shoot winter scenes. We don't really see summer scenes that much. I don't feel like. So they probably. If I had to guess, the reunion's gonna happen. If I had to take a wild guess, probably would start shooting in like maybe April. My guess would be.
no.
Yeah.
And we don't get more until September.
If that, yeah. If I had to guess, I don't know what the schedule is for them because some certain franchises film longer than others. Like I think it was like Jersey would only shoot for 3 months, whereas like New York or Orange County like shoot for like 6 months, and then they edit it. So I don't know. I feel like that sounds about right, which would make sense if this is Mother's Day in May, so they probably won't start shooting till like maybe April. March or April.
But that makes sense because even the beginning of this season, she's like, Jared and I got engaged and then unengaged. I was like, why did you show that? Everybody knows, but that was for us.
I would love to see. They always shoot. We always see them in like wintry scenes. I would love to see like a summer in Utah, like an all summer.
I wonder if that plays into the whole Salt Lake City thing. Maybe they're expecting you to see snow and
like mountains and associate it with that. So they probably do that. But I think like I could equally see like beautiful scenery in the summer, like you know what I mean? Like I would love to see that, like a change of like time frame, so we could see something else. They used to do that, not a lot, but like New York, it started off they would always shoot during the summer months and into the fall. And then they used to then they switched to like winter, so you'd see like Christmas and Real Housewives in New York and all that. And but they would change it up. Jersey, something similar. They would change the seasons. You would see like Thanksgiving and Christmas. And I used to love that. Was my favorite like times in Jersey was when they would do that shoot schedule. So they do like mix it up. But I would like to see different like non-winter Utah.
Yeah, interesting. So let's talk about the lunch. Whitney, Bronwyn, and Mary. And they're talking about this is the great Meredith intervention.
Yeah.
And Whitney, I think her take on it was really smart, right? She's like, it makes me sad that this is happening. It reminds me of something.
Yeah.
And then Mary gets so emotional. And I was like, oh, I wonder if this reminds her of her son. And then she literally says it. She's like, I ignored these signs. Yeah. Now I know what to look for and I'm living them. And I was, it just broke my heart so bad.
Yeah.
Even sometimes I can't see people cry without crying, but I was watching her and I was just listening to her, and she's like, I know these signs because they do tend to be very
similar.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, I think you get past the whole manic to where you become, if you're an alcoholic or something, and you can kind of hide it.
Yeah.
But I think there was a period where you probably were manic, and that's kind of what I'm saying. But then I don't know if Bronwyn mentions that she saw Seth, Meredith's husband, out to dinner with someone to say maybe it's not drinking, maybe it's infidelity that's hurting there, that's like affecting Meredith's mood. So what did you think of the lunch or dinner or whatever it was? What did you think of it?
All three of them are an odd pairing because of their histories as of recently, at least. I think maybe, I guess, more so Whitney and Bronwyn, because I'm like, did y'all resolve your issues first and foremost? Because I feel like maybe I missed that. Because now you're eating. So listen, I'm a big fan of vulnerability. So I did like that. I did feel for Mary because how could that not trigger you? And I would say too, it kind of gets, sadly, I feel like it's getting overlooked in the last few episodes that Whitney has brought this up. But this is where that comes from, is like her dad, who was an alcoholic, or he was an addict. I think it was alcohol. And I feel like she keeps trying to be like open about more of it in the recent episodes, and they kind of overlook it. And maybe they could just be cutting that footage down for all I know. But I can understand that, and I agree with her. And I guess I would agree with Mary. It's like, if at some point, if you're familiar with this, you do notice the signs, and there probably are universal like things, whether it's change in mood and habit and personality traits that would spark. How does that not spark something in you, especially for Mary, who that this is very like fresh for her in many regards, right?
And I love how she says you can't change it for them.
Yeah.
Because if you're a grown person, right, I can't make you. I mean, even if it wasn't to this level, even if you're sick, I can't force you to take medicine, right? You can't force.
Yeah.
And so you just have to watch. And we're not saying be a train wreck somewhere else. We're just saying we see the train wreck happening, and we just want to tell you, like.
And with Meredith specifically, she is not doing herself or these women any favors. She does not make it easy for them, it seems, or at least definitely not like maybe Whitney, that's for sure. But she's not making it easy for them to be vulnerable with her, to have a very real conversation about whatever this is. Because it seems like no matter what you say to her about any of this, she's automatically on the defense. Instead of hearing, if you have a real friend, and maybe that would be the argument in her mind, is like, these aren't her real friends. But if you have a friend or someone that just simply concerned, and of course you have to be very delicate of how you want to like talk about these things. That's a very serious, allegation. If someone has a problem, but I think it's just being vulnerable and sharing one story, whether it's your son or your dad or whatever makes you familiar with it. But I feel like they could be so vulnerable with her and concerned and approach it delicately or whatever, and I still think she'll be just as defensive. And I feel like that's going to be really a defining thing for Meredith moving forward in terms of like where she stands with this group. Because as it is, I'm like, okay, so your friend is Lisa. You dabble with some of the other women, but like you're not enjoyable to watch. And it's sad because this really affects these two women, at least an emotional place that I don't think they're, at least for Whitney, who's really the only one that's kind of spearheading this, so to speak. It's really real for her. And I don't think Meredith wants to hear it. And to your point, you can't make anyone do anything they don't want to do. So she's clearly not ready or willing to hear any part of this. And it's almost like, then, you know what, maybe you got to cut your losses and be like, good luck, girl. Like, I don't know. You are a grown ass woman. So I hope, seems like you're doing pretty okay otherwise. So whatever's working for you might be, working enough. And I will say this too. I think her husband is probably cheating on her, because that has been in the ether for many seasons. They've had like issues in their relationship. I forgot like what season, maybe 1 or 2. I wouldn't be surprised if he's cheating on her. Whether she knows that or not, I don't know, but I wouldn't be surprised. That is actually a true statement.
So is there any chance that they mention it to Lisa and ask Lisa to bring it up to her? Because they kind of did that at the donkey ride in episode 14.
Yeah.
Where she's like, yeah, there are some changes, but then we don't really see.
I don't think they should, because I don't trust her. Because she's either going to do one of two things. One, she will listen and maybe have some sort of like open-mindedness to hear this kind of a conversation, but then run back to Meredith and be like, they're talking shit and think you're an alcoholic.
Okay.
Or B, they try to bring it up to Lisa and she'll just be automatically defensive too. Like, oh no, you guys are ganging up on her, blah, 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 blah. Whatever it might be. I could see that scenario too. So I don't see it. And if they did, I don't see a world where Lisa'd be like, oh my God, okay, let me like really take this in and think about it, and I'm going to talk to her. I don't see that at all.
So what are we expecting for the reunion? This will be my first reunion ever watching. Are we expecting them to be like, Meredith, I just have to ask you, do you feel you have a drinking problem? And then they're going to cut to if you know someone with a substance abuse problem, call.
Probably. If it comes up, probably,
Because honestly, Whitney's question was real, but it got lost in the delivery. that now we're talking about it for episodes. But the meat of it was, I think you might have a substance abuse problem. Whether or not we know the triggers, Bronwyn's trying to get to what the triggers might be. Whether or not we know the triggers, I think there might be something here because it reminds me of something else I've seen. Yeah. So I do feel like throughout the whole season we've lost that, and I would like to see a legit. If you feel like there's something, talk to someone. I would love to see that.
And I think they should approach it like that, and I anticipate that they will. I will tell you this. I think I kind of made this prediction during all the plane stuff.
Yeah.
I can see them starting off the reunion. They're all gonna come, and he's gonna be like, "Hi, everyone," go greetings, all that kind of shit. And I wouldn't be surprised if they start with maybe the plane footage of someone actually does have a video, and they're gonna start off everything like, we just want to get this out of the way. Or they'll have like they might not have showed them the actual like finale episode or the last scene, and they'll like show them for the first time while they're all together. They've done that like on Orange County before, so I could see something like bombshelly-ish like that, like right off the gate of let's talk about this, because that really, I think, out of all the stuff throughout the season, that is going to be, I feel like, a big focal point is Meredith, that plane, and like what is going on here. Like, maybe not directly saying do you have a problem, but like you're just displaying erratic signs. Are you good? Like what is all this? And then I think they're going to talk about Bronwyn's separation. However, it was leaked because I think that was supposed to be a bombshell announcement for her, and the reunion is what I read online. But now we already know. So,
but then we just saw her going Christmas shopping with him, and they seemed okay.
That's what I mean. I don't know.
I think it's probably a separation, but she stays married for the money.
Maybe. I wonder if they have a prenup. I'm sure they do. He seems like the kind of guy that would get one. Make her sign something.
And
I don't know.
Now that we're recording like this, I kind of think we should record like this. And then the second guest or third guest will be the screen, the show. Because then we can show our reactions and then show a couple of clips. And then
I love
either
that.
way, we're
like
gonna
in real
have
time.
Like 3 cameras. Yeah, either way, we're going to have like 3. And then we can still do this debrief. But I think to see our face with whatever is showing.
I totally agree. Oh my God, I have goosebumps. So I think that's such a great idea. Oh my God, I love that. I'm so excited for I want it. Actually, now I'm like, okay, I don't want the finale. Because here's the other thing too, I suppose could happen is before the reunion, they might, because I've seen this happen in other franchises too. We're gonna get the finale right. They're gonna do blah blah blah, but there might be like 5 months later, and they film maybe like a month ago, and it's attached it to this episode. I've seen that where it says like 6 months later, and they're all like, oh my God, did you see? Or they all might go like Heather's house and be like, somebody sent me the plane footage or I don't know, something. I could see that too.
I have a question. So I usually don't watch the trailer for the next episode, but I did. And most of the clips were still in Greece.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming they can't wrap the whole series with them there. There's going to be at least 1 or 2 scenes of them back in Salt Lake.
I don't know. Because you're right. That whole preview, they're all still there.
Yeah.
And it looked like, if I remember correctly, in that preview, which I thought was interesting, is that it looks like Bronwyn is being a bit aggressive with Meredith about something. So I'm like, that's an interesting, somewhat of a twist, and I'm curious of what that is all about. If it's about the Britney stuff or something totally unrelated, or maybe she does tell her about the how she saw Seth on a date or whatever it was. And maybe that's what they get into. So I'm curious. I can't wait to see whatever that is. But it might, it'd be a first, but they may wrap it up the season in Greece.
They might. And I tell you what, it was a different episode of ours where I was talking about how I was judging the show before I ever watched it. And what do these ladies have to talk about? I love how every series has its own iteration in terms of now they're going to start wanting to record before and after plane rides for probably any trip. All because of season 6 and this whole thing being such a big deal.
They're like, we're not going to let anything. I want no questions. So if something happens, I would. By the way, I would do that.
If they're all together, film it. Now, if they all are leaving on separate days and stuff, don't worry about it. But if they're all together, absolutely, that should
film it, or at least have a camera ready to film something if needed.
Yes, because they had all the GoPros when they were on the donkeys. Give everyone their own camera. Let them play on their phone. Just set up your camera on the back of the seat. Because I forget who's first chair. I know it's Brittany, and is it Lisa?
Let me pull it up.
Because remember, we were talking about why it was set up this way, because Angie is somewhat near the front, and now that these trademark episodes have happened, it makes sense because she's got some conflict going.
Reunion.
Oof, so excited.
It is. Oh, that's an old one. Season 6. We have first chair, which is next to Andy on both sides. It's Bronwyn and Lisa.
Okay, Bronwyn and Lisa.
So it goes Bronwyn, Heather, Angie, Brittany. And then on the other couch, it will be Lisa, Meredith, Mary, and Whitney.
Okay, so I like that. Mary and Whitney at the back.
I think this makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah,
so Lisa and Bronwyn straight up, they were in the middle of all the stuff.
So they're gonna, And I'm curious because those two, I keep thinking they're in a good space, and it seems like at least in this episode they enough are, but then I feel like that often like flips. So I'm curious of like, now that they're in a decent spot, or like they're leaving it that way. I can't wait to see whatever it is they're fucking gonna go after each other about. That's gonna be interesting. I can't wait.
I'm excited. I know. So you guys, this was season 6, episode 15. We have episode 16 coming. And then hopefully we're jumping straight into the reunion. You guys are going to get at least 2 episodes for that, because we'll do a debrief like this, and then we will do an episode where we're watching and giving live reactions. We're going to watch it that Wednesday when it's on Peacock.
And then it's unedited too, so we can hear swearing and all that.
And so you guys, while you're listening, we thank you. We appreciate it. And if you're watching on YouTube, go and watch this video here where we talk about their reunion looks. So, all right. Yay!
Friends.
I know. I already have the title for this episode. Hold on. I wrote it in my notes. Psych. Maybe I didn't. I thought it was going to be something with hair.
Well, they did. It was a theme.
I know. I have to run. I hear my baby crying up there.
Hold on. Technical difficulties. Can you still see me?
No.
I know. It says camera blocked.